If you visit Taiwan, an island located in East Asia, you'll find yourself immersed in a poetic metropolis and the bustling nightlife, strolling through the lively night market and savory bunch of delicious street food. You will likely encounter street food vendors in humble restaurants selling noodles, often coated in a rich, savory broth and sauce, accompanied by an assortment of meats and veggies on top. Actually, one thing you must try in Taiwan is the signature beef noodle soup. It's intriguing because Taiwan doesn't have significant wheat cultivation. Taiwan is traditionally rice dominant and has a history of valuing cattle as agrarian helpers, which means traditionally they don't consume beef. So without mass cultivating wheat and consuming beef, how did noodle soup become the island's signature dish? It might be hard to believe, but the United States is behind this. Let's break this down. To answer this big question, the first thing we need to know is how did noodles become popular in Taiwan given that its main crop is rice? To understand this, you have to understand what happened in China in 1945. Following Japan's surrender and the end of World War II, the Chinese Civil War broke out between the Kuomintang-led Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party. The war resulting in a communist victory, and the Kuomintang retreated to Taiwan.
On October 1st, 1949, Mao Zedong proclaims the birth of the People's Republic of China. Chiang Kai-shek flees to the island of Formosa, signs a mutual defense treaty with the United States, and vows one day to return and liberate the mainland.
This period coincided with the beginning of the Cold War, during which the United States provided economic assistance to contain communism. Flour and wheat were among the aids that Taiwan accepted, with the goal of feeding the increased population, addressing the surplus wheat produced by the United States, and treating its rice to other nations to earn foreign exchange. The Taiwanese government actively promoted wheat consumption by teaching snack making, promoting the baking industry, even adding wheat-based food to school lunch. This led to the widespread adoption of wheat-based foods in Taiwanese households and magically transformed the rice-dominated eating habits. So, what type of noodles does the beef noodle soup use? The most common types are white noodles. They are firm, smooth, and chewy, so are perfect for noodle soup. It's easy to find them in Asian grocery stores, or maybe look for Amazon if you can't find one. The beef noodle soup was born during the time when Taiwan extensively imported wheat. It's an embodiment of nostalgia created by Sichuanese soldiers yearning for their homeland in China. Unable to return, they used whatever ingredients they could find in Taiwan to create the beef noodle with distinctive Sichuan flavors. This includes ingredients such as ginger, onion, garlic, green onion, tomato, pickled cabbage, peppercorn, bay leaves, crystal sugar, and a spice bag. Spice bags are commonly used nowadays because they are very convenient. The bag includes cinnamon, cumin, and fennel. Sauces are sold of this dish. Sichuan fermented bean taste that the soldiers brought from their homeland add umami, special spiciness, and depth to the broth. Rice wine to tenderize the meat and balance the flavors. And soy sauce. In the earliest days, they used canned beef donated by the US, creating this delicious dish. The beef noodle soup gained popularity in the following years, spreading from narrow alleys to all over Taiwan. But wait a minute, Taiwan is a traditionally agrarian society. They don't consume beef. They even view consuming beef as a taboo, believing that eating beef will bring them bad luck. This is because cattle were considered valuable helpers in agriculture, so farmers rarely slaughtered cattle, which made beef scarce and expensive. That's why canned beef or very little beef were used in the early version of the beef noodle soup. So given the fact that the beef is rare and pricey, how did the beef noodle soup become a Taiwanese household favorite? The taboo of eating beef has been shattered since Japan colonized Taiwan in the late 19th century. The wealthy Japanese did eat beef, introducing the habit to Taiwan. Some wealthy Taiwanese began consuming beef, just like the wealthy Japanese did. But beef wasn't widely embraced because Taiwan still remained an agrarian society, and the beef was still pricey. So the key here is to make beef affordable. And you guessed it right, this has to do with the US. In the 70s, Taiwan underwent an economic boost by transitioning from an agrarian economy to light industrious. By then, the US was Taiwan's largest export market. To address the trade deficit, the US requested Taiwan to open up beef imports, which Taiwan eventually did, but not just for the US, also for Australia and New Zealand. The beef imports caused Taiwan's beef prices to drop sharply, making beef more affordable than ever. It is recommended to use beef shank, as it's perfect for slow cooking methods and imparts a rich flavor to the soup. The shank contains connective tissue that makes the meat easily put apart and gives it a melt-in-your-mouth quality. These are ingredients spices we'll be using. We first add some oil. Then infuse the ginger with aroma. Then beef in, onion in till it's softened. Garlic, green onion, peppercorn, and fermented bean paste. Tomato. Then add soy sauce and water till it covers the ingredients. Bay leaves, a spice bag. Boil it, then simmer for an hour and 30 minutes. While we wait for the broth, let's fry the pickled cabbage. Use chopsticks or a fork to check if the beef can be easily pulled apart. If it can, the dish is ready to serve. Now that you know the dish is ready, boil the noodles. When it's ready, take the noodles out after they are cooked through. This is definitely a culinary masterpiece, a symphony of flavors and a texture of delight. The beef is tender and succulent, the broth is rich and savory, and the pickled cabbage adds a distinct tanginess and another layer of texture to each bite. I can assure you that every single bite is a delightful experience. Bring your taste buds and stomach to heaven. The story of the beef noodle soup doesn't end here. It embarked on a journey to the US and later became famous in China under the name California beef noodle soup. The taste and journey of the beef noodle soup are indeed epic. But what made this dish become so popular goes beyond just flavor. For each individual, the dish carries a personal memory. It could be a nostalgia for homeland, childhood, or perhaps share moments with others. The beef noodle soup isn't just a product of geopolitics and trading. It's an embodiment of memory, longing, and companionship. We hope you enjoy the dish.